So in this video, we're gonna go over why it doesn't matter how long someone has sold real estate for when choosing an agent to sell your home. Sellers typically want to know how long each agent has sold homes for when picking someone to work with. But I strongly believe that it does not matter if someone has been selling real estate for 30 plus years. I just truly don't believe that. And here's why. Now, obviously, I have not been selling real estate for 30 years. I hope that's obvious at least. So at the same time, I probably have been selling real estate for longer than you probably think I've been selling real estate as well. I don't have this strong opinion based off my age. I have this strong opinion because I think that there are some agents that have had their real estate license for 20, 30, maybe even longer years, but at the same time, they do not have the resume of happy clients to back up 15, 20, 30, 40 years in the industry. I think the better questions to ask is how many clients have you worked with? How many properties have you sold? What is the volume that you've sold? Or even if you are working with an agent that's newer in the industry, which I actually am not against, are they partnering up with somebody who also has a track record of experience as well? Because I think that that is also a really great strategy to go after, but I'll save that for another video. So I'm gonna go back to that example of someone who's had their license for 30 years. There are so many agents out there who just don't do a lot of business per year, maybe 1 or 2 deals, if that a year, but love saying that they've been licensed for 30 years. Well, that's great. But at the same time, if you've only sold a few handful of clients during that time, why does it matter if you've sold real estate for 30 plus years? I can't stand it, and I think that there's so many agents who use time as a track record when that shouldn't be the case at all. Honestly, I would much rather somebody work with an agent who has been in the business under 3 years, but has the work ethic, creativity, and the ambition to get your home sold, even though they've worked in the industry for less than 3 years, versus 30 plus years, versus the agent who's had their license for 30 plus years, but hardly has sold any homes. I'm so for this one, so against this one. And I think that so many agents who say that are doing the industry such a disservice, and it's not fair to homeowners. So some questions that I like is, what is your marketing plan? What are some proactive ways you've sold homes? This is the question I love. What is the most creative way you've ever sold a home? These are the questions that homeowners don't ask, but they need to, because these are the questions that really matter. Every agent should be able to answer these questions. Most agents just put a home on the market and wait. They wait for buyers to come to them. They wait for an offer to just fall into their lap, and they don't do anything to really work for the business. And unfortunately, 99% of agents fall into that category, while 1% fall into the other category, which is the agents that can answer those questions, the agents that are proactive, creative, ambitious, and they want to get a deal done for you. Moral of the story is, your agent needs to have a plan, and I think it's so important that you really test your agent to make sure that they actually have that plan before you decide to work with them. That plan and following through with that plan is so much more important than saying you've had your license for 30 plus years. I will always believe that, even when I get to the day where I've had my license for 30 plus years. It will never be about that. I hope that helped you understand why I think that how long someone has sold real estate for doesn't really matter when getting a home sold. And I hope you could really understand that as well. I would love to know, have you ever had an agent brag to you about that number? I feel like there's probably so many of you out there who have, because it's really something that happens way too often in the industry. And as always, I just love hearing from you guys.